You know, let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, that's what's up. The infamous spaceship vibe. I grew up in Toppenish, and then when I was 21 years old, I moved to Texas with my parents.
Oh shit!
And then I came, so I was living there for about 2-3 years, and I came back, but I didn't want to come back to a valley.
Right.
I wanted to come somewhere where I could where there's more opportunity, really, bro, here in Tri-City. So I came and settled down right here, man.
So how'd you get into, like barbering? Like, what age did that start for you?
Man, barbering, I started messing with it when I was about 13 years old, man. 13 years old. My mom used to cut my hair. My mom would cut me and my dad.
Oh, okay.
You know, my mom had no license, bro. It was just a typical mom cutting my hair in the kitchen type stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I always had a pair of clippers laying around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I always remember too, I was in wrestling, right? Me and one of my friends were wrestling. Well, he had bald hair.
Oh, shit.
So,
Okay.
you know, when you're wrestling and you're on a team, you form a bond. So I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm going to cut my hair bald too.
Oh, shit.
So we went to my house. My mom got a pair of clippers, so I'm going to cut my hair.
Yeah, I'm going to go in.
Boom. Took my hair down, all the way down to 0 now. We're like the same.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can fade it. If I can't fade it, well, worst case scenario, I'll just go back to being bald. You know what I mean? So that's how I started doing it. And it's one of them things where it was like natural for me, bro. I first got a pair, when I started cutting, it just felt like I knew what I was doing already.
Yeah.
That's always been like with art to me. Like drawing when I was a kid, you know, it came easy to me. You know what I mean?
You used to draw before?
Yeah, I've always been any type of art. It went from drawing cartoon characters, doing graffiti, cutting hair, any type of art I was always pretty good at, you know what I mean? Like naturally, bro. So when I picked up a pair of clippers, I looked at it, the way I looked at it was like I'm sculpting, I'm creating something.
Damn.
So, I mean, I know back then it wasn't very good, but I had confidence in what I was doing. So that's how I took off when I was 13 years old, and I'm 33 now, so I got 20 years experience, you know.
When did you get into like your first like shop, you know, to start working for it?
My first shop I got, it was 10 years ago, man. When I got my license, it was in 2010, the end of 2010.
Yeah.
So 2010, 2011, beginning of 2011 is when I got my license, and I went into my first shop, man. I worked, my first shop was at Chuito's Barbershop on the east side of Pasco.
Shit.
Yeah, we were in the hood, man.
Yeah.
So I was the #1 draft pick coming out of barber school, bro.
That's wild, dog.
I was LeBron James, bro.
Yeah, you already had built the name then.
Well, check it out, because I came to Tri-Cities, I knew nobody.
Okay.
Remember that's when I came back from Texas. I came from Texas to Tri-Cities, I knew nobody.
So how long were you in Texas?
I was there 2-3 years.
2 years, and then you came here.
Yeah, but when I was in Texas, that's when the idea sparked. Like, I'd always kind of play with the idea. I remember people telling me when I was cutting hair in high school, you should become a barber, bro.
Yeah.
But barbering wasn't really hot like that back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't really doing anything. So I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I always said I was going to do it, but I never really pursued it. You know, when you got those years in your life where you're just kind of like figuring out who you want to be or who you are.
Right.
So, at that point, when I was living in Texas, I kind of sparked the idea, you know what, I should do this barbering thing. I never did it. So I finally moved to Tri-Cities, and that's when I had my son, my firstborn. I had him, and that's when I was like, yo, I gotta make something happen. Like, I gotta figure out a career. And it really just took for me just to get up and go to barber school. And I remember the day say, you know what, I'm gonna go today. Today's the day, I'm gonna go in. And I went to the barber school and enrolled, and the rest is history.
Was it at that time? When did you think the idea sparked to have your own shop?
It was always there.
Oh, that was always
it was always there, man. Like when I was in Texas before I came over here, I remember me and my dad, my parents, we took a walk. You know, it was like it was kind of like around this time, and I saw this shop, Sport Clips.
Oh, okay.
You know, which is whack.
Yeah.
But I remember looking in the shop and it was like a basketball court. I was like, damn, that shit looks tight. You know what I mean? Like that's tight. That's when the idea started sparking. Like, damn, I want to have my own shop and my own vibe. I didn't know they could look like that, you know, because I never been to no barbershop. I was cutting my own hair.
I mean, because I remember, you know, even most barbershops, it was always like some older dudes,
exactly,
you know what I mean, cutting hair, and so it didn't have like that cool factor.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Social media made it cool.
Yeah.
Like anything, it makes anything cool. Everybody wants to do it once they see a lot of people going towards it, you know.
I mentioned last time we were talking about your first. Oh shit! I thought they were gonna turn. The first fade that you seen. Do you remember that? Like how old you were? Like the first time you ever saw like an actual fade? Because that shit was kind of like not. It wasn't. I guess essentially like a big thing. Like I don't remember seeing a fade till. Fuck man, I might have been like same bro, like 10 or
like
something.
A skin tight fade.
Yeah. Like I had never seen that. You know.
I'd seen it. I guess I recognized it more because I was cutting hair when I was 13. So I was always looking at people's hair. You know what I mean? So I seen it early, at an early, you know. But it was more so like on movies or music videos or whatever. You started to I took notice because I knew that's what I was doing. And so I was trying to emulate what I saw because we didn't have tutorials back then.
Yeah. So you were just going off of what you see.
Going off what I saw. As an artist, bro, like, I mean, as a kid, like, you know, I used to draw, so I remember I used to watch movies, and I would see, like, a character, and I'd pause the movie, and I would just be drawing what I saw. So I used the same tactic when cutting hair.
That's wild, bro.
So I would be like, I'd have my friends come through, you know, hey, come me up. All right, cool, well, let me try this on. I didn't know what a taper was. I just knew this is what it looks like. I messed up my mom and dad's bathroom, bro. I used to cut everybody's hair, put all the hair in the sink, and just stuff it down there.
Damn.
I remember my parents were pissed, bro. Like, hey, you're gonna be cutting hair, get your ass outside.
Oh, that's hilarious. Just trying to get all that shit down.
Bro, I didn't, you know, you're a kid, bro. You're dumb. You don't know. You're just like stuffing it. We're talking like piles of hair.
Dude, this shit goes down.
I'll just take them down. I'm like, where am I gonna put it? I just put it in the sink, bro.
No, that's hilarious.
Stuff that shit down there.
God, that's fucking funny, man.
So yeah, man. It's like anything. When you become good, you start to see results, and what you're doing, you want to keep going, and it excites you.
Right.
Because now you're like, damn, I want to do it again, and I almost got it. I want to do it again. I want, you know, keep going, and sharpening your skills. To this day, I'm still sharpening my skills. We had a class yesterday at the shop.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, bro. Like I always say, man, I can get information from a guy who owns 4 businesses making millions, or I can learn, you know, just as much from a guy who's a janitor. Not to say nothing bad about that.
No, for sure.
But, you know, I can learn something from him too.
No.
Just about life in general, man. You can apply that to yourself and into your career, or personally, whatever. You're always learning. That's why I love what I do, man. It's crazy because, like, you know, I be cutting people's hair, and I be tripping to myself. I'm like, when else would you let a guy like literally touch your face? Like,
right.
You would be like, bro, what's
the fuck's wrong?
I'm about to square up right now, bro. You're touching my face like that.
Yeah.
But when you're in the chair, you could do whatever. But sometimes I'll get, like, you know, of course there'll be people I'm really cool with.
Right.
And I'll mess with them just to see how much I can go.
Yeah.
And they're cool. They're like moving wherever I want them to. I'll move their eyelids up, whatever, and they're cool.
Yeah.
So what type of job allows you to do that? That's what I'm saying. It's a personal thing, man.
Because you're in that personal space.
And people open up. You know what I mean? They trust you, and they open up to you. And like I said, it's just something that I really value, man.
Yeah.
Being able to chop it up with people, learn from people, or even, you know, help people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got younger guys who come in who don't know what they want to do with themselves, with their lives, and, you know, and they ask me, and I'm giving them advice. Older people even, man, you could give them advice. They're giving you advice. It's just and then you see them blossom too. Like,
right.
I know guys I've cut since they were middle school, high school, and they end up going to college and coming back and getting married, and it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
to be able to see all that, you know what I mean?
It's dope too, because I mean, you know, it's just the power of conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
more than anything, you
100%.
know, the fact that you're in that personal space. Because I think as a barber, you develop like a trust right away.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for a person to go in and be like, you know, if it's your first time, you don't know if it's gonna be a good haircut or a bad haircut. You know, but if you come out and that shit looks fucking fresh, bro, you boost that confidence of that person.
Yeah, no,
you know,
yeah,
like it
sure.
changes the whole mood of a person.
No, I take pride in everything I do, man. And when somebody comes into a chair, bro, I want to pay attention, ask them about their lifestyle, what they like to do, and I give them a tailored haircut that best fits them. I'm not a one-size-fits-all type of barber, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes, man. Paying attention to them and giving them their time, bro. you know, when I had my the vision of the shop, that was the whole thing. I wanted to like have the barbershop vibe, but also make it more private. That's why we do appointments only, so you don't have a lot of people sitting around. So it's not like having to cater to somebody waiting and then cutting you. I'm paying attention to whoever's in my chair, giving them their time, because man, sometimes they probably don't have nobody to talk to, bro.
I know, that's real,
I give them their time, man, and make sure that we hear them out.
When you had it shut down, like what was going through your head as far as like a business owner and a human? Yeah,
in the beginning it was kind of like, okay, 2 weeks off, man, 2 weeks, cool. But you know what? Cool, we'll take the time off. There was a lot of unknown.
Right.
So in the first 2 weeks, I was just like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna try to relax. It's only 2 weeks, so I'm gonna kick back at the house and just be with my kids and just trying to be here. You know what I mean? And then after that, those 2 weeks, it extended to a month. And you're just kind of like, you can't help but be like kind of antsy, you know what I mean? But you know, I really try to focus my energy on building my brand as far as the internet presence, my website design, my different apparel that I wanted to go ahead and release, and just working on other areas that I didn't have time for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And working on myself, man. I'm being a better person, being a better dad.
It's good.
Hair, bro, getting your hair cut, it has a lot to do with your mental too.
A lot, man.
The way you feel about yourself. So during this whole, I had people texting me, man, like, hey, bro, I need a haircut so bad. I never realized how much a haircut affects the way I feel about myself.
Absolutely.
My self-esteem. I never realized it until I can't get it anymore. You know, not only getting a haircut and feeling good, but actually venting to somebody and interacting with people. You know, you don't realize that that's a very important part of a man's everyday life until you get it stripped away.
Yeah, man, like the confidence that a haircut does, you know, I can't stress that enough.
It makes you feel like
crazy.
It makes you feel like I always say, man, you can have fresh clothes on, but you don't got a haircut.
It's not the same.
Like, dang.
Yeah.
You could have some raggedy clothes on and a fresh cut, and you're like,
I'm the man.
These look, nope, these are some new clothes today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what the power of men's grooming. You know what I mean? That's the power of it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feeling good about yourself, feeling confident. I mean, it's crazy because, you know, we've cut people who, I'm going to a job interview, bro. Like, I need to look good. I need that confidence. Boom. I've cut people who, I'm getting married, man. Need a haircut so I can feel good. I'm graduating. Man, I lost my grandfather this weekend. I need a, you know what I mean? I need a haircut just to make me feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have people come in for every type of life situations. My ultimate vision, of course, is, you know, was to own my own business, my own shop, my own brand, you know. Right now, of course, you know, I always tell myself I never wanted to be that old barber behind the chair, like, just like, bro, like, you know, nothing wrong with it. But I just wanted to be able to cut hair because I love to cut hair, and not past my prime where I'm like, I'm cutting hair now and I don't even love it anymore. I'm just cutting it just to make money. I never wanted that to happen. Never want to be stagnant. So I was so, you know, with having said that, I want to get into education. I want to get into helping young barbers, you know, not make the same mistakes I made, and helping them grow and helping them not only learn how to cut, because cutting hair is very, very minimal. You know, it's mentality wise, with the type of mentality you gotta have, the type of energy you gotta bring, how to handle your finances, how to build clientele, how to be professional, how to handle different situations, man. And that's really what I want to start tapping into, and just start educating the younger guys coming up, or older too.
It's really important, you know what I mean?
100%.
That's one of those things that, especially coming if you don't have money, and then, you know, which is it's most cases, and then you get money, it's very difficult to not blow that money, man.
Bro, you get paper in your pocket, man. So you got money, you know, burning a hole in your jeans.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to, you know, stack your money up. That way you can, you know, set yourself up for the future, bro.
You know, it's all about, like you said, just knowing how to deal with your finances.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and that's important, man. That goes a very long way.
Yeah. No, it does, man. Not only that, but how to invest that money. You know what I mean? And how to, what I'm learning right now, bro, is, you know, getting into investing and how to make your money work for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's very important, bro. it's one thing to save it, but saving it is gonna be nice because you want to buy things, but you know, it's not gonna make you anything. So now you gotta get that money that you have that's stashed away and put it into different type of investments that makes you more. And that way you're setting up, you know, your kids. You know, that's the ultimate vision. Going back to that, you know, ultimate vision is to set my kids up and their kids up, and that way they don't gotta worry. Or that way you set the standard. You know what I mean?
You had mentioned too about, and you touched on it a little bit, but about Complex, the name of it, and your vision was for it to be not like a regular barbershop name, to be more like of a brand.
Right.
You know, what inspired that? Because, you know, that's not common.
At the time too, the time that I did it, it wasn't really, you know, it was more so like something cuts or fresh fades or, you know what I mean? And I thought my idea was it's bigger than that. Like, I don't want to just be known at, like, of course, barbering is my core, but there's more to it than that. You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle. So, like, if I want to, you know, create a lifestyle brand, I want to be able to do that without having to be, you know, of course we're gonna always have the razor and stuff on there, but you know, I want to be able to build a brand that's just more appealing and not just barbering. You know what I mean? So yeah, that what came into when I named it the Complex. I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be something that was gonna be what's the word? Just
Just able to like translate a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how, the way I look at least, it looks like you could put that on anything. You got like, I've seen like shirts, you know, hoodies. I think I saw, I've seen some hoodies with it.
Got hoodies, beanies, you know.
Like the merch side of it. And I think that's very smart because I think it's a lot harder to sell fresh fades or, you know,
which is cool.
A barbershop name.
Cool, people are still gonna want to rock it, but I want you to be able to go out on a Saturday night with your girl and then you look clean.
Yeah, and you're rocking.
I mean? Like you got something that's like the, you know, that's why when I did like my logo, I pictured the logo on a shirt. Like how would it look on a shirt? I wanted you to wear it out. You know what I mean? And for it to be like a recognizable brand, you know, when you go out. So that was the whole concept behind that, you know.
Yeah, when I first heard of Complex, that's what I thought was ill. I remember I drove by and I was like, where the fuck is the barber, you know? And then my homie's like, it's called Complex. And I saw it and I was like, oh shit, you know, but he had told me it was like appointments, you know, because he had came here before. I was like, all right, cool, but I just wanted to drive by and check it out. And I remember seeing it and the Complex name, it like just stood out
to you.
I was like, oh man, that's hard.
What I wanted. That's what I wanted when I put that up there. I wanted you to see it, and it stands out like what's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why like I got a barber pole, but it's kind of like hidden a little bit.
You have it like indoor.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden a little bit. So I wanted it to be intriguing too when you pass by. You're like, well, what's going on?
And the dope thing about it too is that once you actually get to go in, you know, it's like a whole mood that is set there. All
5 senses got to be ignited, baby. You know what I mean? Everything's from your touch to the smell to the visual. You know, everything has to be stimulated. I read that before I opened up the shop. I wanted everything. Before I opened up, I knew what I wanted it to smell like. I knew what I wanted it to feel like. I knew what I wanted it to sound like. I knew what I wanted it to taste like, bro. Like, that's what I envisioned everything before I opened up. So it took me years. And as the years went on, like I told you, going back to the sports clips, that was my vision. Like, oh, it'd be a cool hangout spot. You know, have basketball stuff and like just like graffiti on the walls. But as I matured and got older, it turned more into what it is now. Having a clean environment with having, you know, art on the walls, having it smell really good. Because it's like going to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and it's dirty.
Right.
Man, it's gonna be like
it's less appealing.
Even the food might taste good, but it's gonna taste worse if you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I worked in a shop for anybody that I felt like I wasn't gonna learn from. You know what I mean? I always took away something from there, and it helped to mold me into what I am, what it is now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you had like certain events there. And it wasn't just barbershop events. You've had just like, you know.
We had an art gallery here. We had a Valentine's Day event here. We've had, you know, who said, one of the barbers who works here, he also sings. So I wanted to give him a platform where he can showcase his skills. Yeah. You know, and we've had DJs come in here. Zach, who you had on here, he's DJing here multiple times. Yeah. You know, we've had our anniversary parties and yeah, I wanted just to have a spot where y'all could get together, man, and just vibe. My whole idea was that's why my walls are white. I want my shop to look clean, but I want the art to just pop. So I pictured an art gallery. How does the art gallery look, right? You're not gonna go to the art gallery and it's gonna have purple walls because the art's not gonna pop to you. So they all have white. That was the whole idea behind it. Having it nice, clean, and simple, being as minimal as possible, but at the same time having a lot of flavor and taste in there through the art. I'm like, ask the guy, I'm OCD. Okay. I'm OCD about like making sure things are in place. I'm OCD because that's all visual, bro. And if somebody comes in there, I don't want them to be like, well, that didn't look, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm my own worst critic, you know what I mean? So I like to make sure everything is tip-top shape. I don't want anything like, oh man, I went in there and the toilet wasn't working.
Yeah.
Or this wasn't working, or the light bulbs were like flickering and they were out, or there's hair all over no.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be to a T. Appointments, that's why we do appointments, because it allows you to service the person, clean up your station, greet the client, make sure they feel comfortable, clean up your area, and give them their time.
Oh man, well fuck, let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out, man. Let's get up to it.
So this is the whole vision.
This is the vision, man. This is where it all came into fruition. Everything here is well thought out and well put together, man, and executed.
Man, it's dope. It's dope to like hear about it and then actually, you know, even though I've been here before, but like to see it now, it's in a different light.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It makes sense now. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask about your barbers. So, you know, you have, what is it? 5 of you.
I got 4.
Oh, it's 4,
including me.
Oh,
so you
okay.
got Bert, you got Sed, and you got Eric.
Oh, okay.
In the 5th chair, we've had a couple barbers in here, but you know, they ended up going separate ways and stuff like that. But we had the core. Us core have been together for a while.
Yeah. How long have you guys all been together?
So that was 5 years ago when I opened up, and Eric has been here for 3 years, going on 4. You know, in the barbershop setting, we'll be at each other sometimes. You know, we'll be making jokes, clowning. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But you know, we take it there sometimes. But you know, I know individually, they all know that, you know, I'm here for him, and I'm gonna give him 110%. We're all here to create, bro. We're here to create something new with the client. Of course, we're never gonna give a client something that doesn't fit their personality.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get a freaking Chuck Liddell mohawk and you're a judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna give them and if we're gonna give them something suiting to their lifestyle.
Do they ever come in here and not really having a vision for a haircut?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, it happens a lot.
How's that though? Is that difficult to gauge?
Nah, because you're gonna ask them the questions. You know what I mean? You're gonna probe their mind a little bit. What do you do for a living?
Right.
You know, what do you want something that you want to be able to style, or do you want to just get up and go?
Yeah.
You work construction, or are you behind an office or behind a desk? What is your lifestyle? That way I can give you something according to fit your lifestyle. Right. So just asking the questions, you know, getting to know them a little better. Yeah. And that's why, again, like being a private appointment, it's important because you're able to kind of dig a little deeper and find out who they are.
You know, so you mentioned earlier when we were talking about how each art piece, or at least most of the art pieces, have, you know, some kind of significance that you actually chose to have these painted. Like it wasn't like you just saw all of them. You know, most of them that you actually designed. So what was the purpose behind some of these?
Like the Nipsey, of course, man. The Nipsey's like, you know, I remember before I had the shop, and I was trying to find a location. Yeah. It was tough because I was new, I was young, and they required not that they kind of didn't take me serious because I was young and I didn't have no experience in being an owner. Yeah. So it was tough for me, man. So Nipsey if you listen to Nipsey, he gives you the blueprint on how to be an entrepreneur, how to not give up when you're going through obstacles. So I remember before I got this spot, I was parked like right there where we were parked at earlier. Yeah. And before I had this spot, I was in the process of getting it. I remember just parking there, bro. And I had Nipsey playing. And I remember just looking at the spot, right? Like, it motivated me to like, don't give up. If this spot don't pop, another one's gonna pop eventually.
Yeah.
So I had to have him in here every day. Of course, you know, he passed a little too early too, so you want to pay your respects. But you know, the marathon continues. I was the #1 inspiration for that, for having him in here. And you know, we got Gary Payton and Dennis Rodman. That's Northwest legend.
Yeah.
You know, Gary Payton. And growing up as a kid, you know, that's kind of who you wanted to emulate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And not only that, but the funny thing about that is the name of that art piece is called Eloquent Language, right?
Okay.
Right? So in the barbershop, you get that jarring back and forth. So I felt like Gary Payton was like something that the barbershop resembles when we're kind of like we were talking about going at each other, clowning. That's kind of what that resembles. You know, you're talking that barbershop talk. You know, and then I had Apollo. Apollo is a Greek god, and he is known for art, music, and all things creative. Yeah. So that's why I wanted him, but I wanted to put like a twist on it. Yeah. So I had him like his face was kind of like broken in half.
So was this your idea? Like
yeah, that one was. Yeah, all these were. The Gary Payton one, he already had it made, but I felt like it fit perfect with the shot.
Right.
You know, and the Warriors. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Warriors, but
I never seen it.
But
check
it out.
Where the
gangs go against each other. Yeah, that was tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to have that up there. And Pablo Picasso is another one that I have. You know what I mean? I think when I see it, it reminds me to always be creative. Always, you know, test your boundaries and always think outside the box.
That's dope. I didn't know you had these like chosen. When I came in, I figured, you know, you just thought, oh, these are pretty ill. You know, I'm gonna get.
Yeah. Well, they gotta be dope too. You know what I mean? But I want it's like every art piece I have tatted on me. I want it to mean something to me. You know what I mean? So I wanted to have some type of. Plus, the artist, the guy who did these, every one of these artists, man, they're just.
They're all different artists.
Yeah, I know them all personally. They're just.
Oh,
good
really?
People. Yeah. Before I, you know, got a piece from them, I wanted, you know, I wanted them to know about me.
Right.
And the shop and what they were creating it for. Because I think if they know that, it's like me getting you a haircut and I know you, I'm going to create something for you. Right. So when I met them, it was the same concept, same process. Like Akad, one who did the Gary Payton, who did the Greek god, Tupac, who did the astronaut. We had them in here, like literally there was art all like in every square section. All this was stripped out. Yeah. And it was every one of it, they're all for sale.
Oh, so this was the art
gallery in here just for him. So he came in here, he was up in here, and it was a vibe, bro. It was dope. And Aaron Hayes, who did the Warriors piece, he's from Seattle too. And my boy Salvador, he's from the Lower Valley, who did Picasso and Nipsey.
Damn, that's crazy, man. How'd you come across these artists? Just
IG, bro.
Just going through?
Instagram, just IG, Instagram, or, you know, you kind of scroll through and you'll see somebody. I wanted to pick people I could, like, literally talk to. Right. Like, I'm going to go check you out. Yeah. I don't want to order something, and that's cool, too. You can order somebody else, but I want it to be more personal. You know, so, plus it's local. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if somebody sees it, wants a piece from these guys, just right over there, bro. No, that's dope, Go check them out. So support local.
I had seen that you had mentioned about opening like a class, and you kind of talked about it a little bit. But what's I just want to see if you go a little bit more into what your goal is with that. You know, because you mentioned like finances. You know, what was the drive behind that to teach these kids about finances, or anybody really?
Well, I mean, I kind of looked at the game, and I looked at when I was going to school and the things I didn't learn. Oh, okay. So I'm like, man, I wish I would have known that. I'm like, why don't they teach that? And then as I continued to grow, I'm like, well, why don't I teach that? Yeah. Because as the years go on, like, you know, when you're in the grind, bro, you're doing it and you're doing it with passion. And as you grow, you know, I have young barbers, older barbers come up to me and they're like, man, bro, you're inspiring. And I was just doing my thing. Right. So now I feel like it's my duty, man, to kind of give every little bit of information I have. You know, I want to share it. Right. If you're interested and if you're really about it. You know what I mean? If you're going to obtain the information, I'm going to give you everything. I don't really, you know, the old stigma about barbers is kind of like, oh, he's going to steal from me. Yeah. Oh, he's going to steal my way I cut hair. He's going to steal my clients. That's like a dead-end way of thinking, bro. Right. Because the reason why people go to you is because of you. You cut good hair, but that's a very small percentage of the reason why people go to you. They go to you because of you, the energy that you put out there. That's why they come.
Yeah, it might have been like 2 years ago I came here for the first time, and everything just kind of hit me at once. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like a whole vibe. Like
Yeah.
everybody here has their own personality, but you know, the art pieces were interesting, and I remember just thinking like, you know, this seems like a dope spot, and I wanted to know more about it. You know?
Yeah.
So when I started doing these, I was like, man, I gotta hit him up and do something, you know.
No, for sure. I know that's when I saw you were doing interviews. I was like, that's a dope ass concept, bro. That's cool.
No, thanks,
so
man.
That's tight that you're doing, that you had a vision, and you're doing it, bro.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
I mean, that's what it's about, you know. That same inspiration, man. Nipsey, you know.
Yeah, same thing, bro. You have a goal, you set it, and as on the road to it, you're gonna go through different ways, and you're only gonna sharpen your skill and get better.
Yeah, 'cause my biggest thing was, I think a lot of people's is more so that first step is the hardest.
Bro, it's the
first step is the the hardest one.
It's the first. It's the hardest one, but it's the best one.
Right.
Because you're like, damn, I could do this a long time ago.
Yeah, because after you get it and then you see, start seeing like the result.
Progression.
You're like, oh, like, man, exactly how you said, I should have been doing this,
Should have already been doing it a minute ago. But the way I look at it is you did it.
Right.
So don't think about anything else. It's just like, I'm in it now. And stay dedicated, stay down, and know that there's going to be ups and downs. But if you have a strong passion for it, you're going to break through. You're going to run through walls, bro. You gotta run through walls to get to wherever you want to get to.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time, bro.
Yep.
I appreciate you, man.